Good morning, Rabbi Sai. We'll go straight to a video.
Good morning, Rabbi Sai.
Gewaldig. So yesterday we were talking about the Tnufas HaLevim. Aaron HaKohen lifted up 22,000 Levim in a 12-hour period. If you do the cheshbon, it comes out. I didn't want to go into it yesterday because we had a few non-religious people, whatever. I didn't want to, but it came out to like less than 2 seconds a person. And how does it make? So the Belzer told me that he saw somewhere that they built like a scale and they put a bunch of Levim on the scale and they put like rocks on the other side so it's equal. And Aaron HaKohen went on the scale and lifted them up. So he says, if you ever find it, please let me know. And somebody by the name of Yukusil, maybe you could look up his name. I forgot his name. Yukusil something. Brought it's in Reb Chaim Kanievsky's Sefer. Just Reb Chaim Kanievsky asks that it says that there was Tnufa, Hilacha, Iva, Lamala, Lamata. So if it's on a scale, how does that work? Okay, but I'm going to show this to the bells. The time of the Kra. Before I forget, I just want to mention I have this open here and I didn't put it in my thing. There are two boys are having surgery today. 2 boys that watched the shir, brothers. Zari ben Rivka Simcha Esther and Nachman ben Rivka Simcha Esther watched the shir. Should have Refuah Shleima. Hey MDY team, I'm a recent recruit of the one and only Reb Dani Fine. Been tuning in since Nadarim Nun. In my family, we have a long-standing family tradition of producing a Purim music video parody each year. This year, MDY and Rebelli get a plug. 30 seconds in, I showed a little bit of it yesterday. So I'm not going to show it today. Maybe tomorrow we'll do it. Enjoy. Thank you, Rebellion, for all you do and the amazing production team that keeps things engaging, accessible, and high quality each and every day. I'm always impressed with the professionalism and purposeful energy that comes through in all you do. It's awesome and it's working. Freilichem Purim from Baltimore, Crazy Daddy, aka Ozzy Rosenblum. And Shkoyach, whoever brought this in, anonymous, Kos Biyom Daf Kol Yom. Covered Purim. It's nice. It's yeah. Where's the MDY symbol? I don't see it. Take it back. Give it back to him. Tell him I want MDY on this side. Yukusil Goldschmidt. What's his first name? Something Goldschmidt. Okay.
Daddy boy.
I was told that Gary may have a recording of Rabbi Shor Shlita speaking at the MDY Kidsium. I'd really appreciate it if someone can send me the recording. Rabbi Shor is the one of the Rabbanim that I have a relationship with, and I approached him a while back and introduced him to MDY and what Rebelli does for Klal Yisrael. So I'm interested in what he had to say at the actual event. Thank you, Abba Renner. I think it was more interesting what he said at your house than for the kids. Should I say over the Vart? If I remember it, you'll help me out. It says that Moshe Rabbeinu is Onav Mikol Adam, says the son of the Balatanya. What's his name? He's the middle Rebbe. The middle Rebbe, Reb Ber. That, let me see if I remember. Hold on. That HaKadosh Baruch Hu has special nachas from people in our generation that they're misgaber. Yeah, that's what it is. When they want to do something wrong and they're misgaber on themselves, and they have the courage to stop. That gives HaKadosh Baruch Hu tremendous nachas, and that's what's keeping Mashiach from coming, because HaKadosh Baruch Hu loves that nachas, so to speak. Yeah, and that's why Moshe Rabbeinu had a little bit of Chalish Sadas. He saw the koyach of people from our generation, and therefore he became Onav Mikol Adam. This is like the middle Rebbe. Very, very powerful. Adineinu Mereinu Rabbeinu Shlita. There's only one. Does anybody know who that is? If I start off an email. No, not me. Who wrote this? Who wrote this? Adineinu Mereinu Rabbeinu. Hashtag Kapara Alecha. Good morning. I don't actually expect you to show up and cheer decked out in the Cafe Bustela gear, but I'm offering the Rebbe a way to satisfy everyone. We know that Rabbeinu loves to wear wacky socks. Here's my suggestion. Wear just the Cafe Bustela socks to shir and Purim, and I'll never bring this up again. You don't even have to say why you're wearing them. It can be between you and me. In any case, Purim to the Rebbe and the Mishpucha, sincerely, the original Stefansky Chussid, I'm pretty sure no one called you Admor before I did. The original license plate guy, he's the one that took off his license plate in the middle of Los Angeles and gave it to me. Said 8-minute daf, and you guessed it, Baal HaBabel. He's the bobblehead guy. So he gave me a whole like pajama thing, Cafe Bustella, and I was supposed to twice. And the socks and everything with sunglasses. It's all in Chicago. Sorry. Not going to happen this year.
You took the stuff that was delivered here to Chicago as well?
Everything. You want to come check my house? If I find something, maybe we'll bring it in. I don't think so. The Kollel is sponsored by Anon Ymous from Lakewood. The second Kollel is sponsored by supporting Torah, strengthening our B'tachan. The Masechta is sponsored by Maaser. The second sponsor of the Masechta was Sheine Bas Yosef by Anon Ymous. The sponsor of the month, Zechrya ben Moshe. Second sponsor, Moshe ben Yehuda, by his community, who was a Holocaust survivor who overcame many challenges, inspired his family, his entire community during his nearly 100 years in this world. Third sponsor by Anon Ymous from Flatbush, for continued Bracha, Mazel, and clarity. By Anon Ymous, the Landy Family, Israel, Xayim ben Yeshעי. By Anon Ymous, the yahrzeit of Moshe ben David, Rav Moshe Feinstein. By Anon Ymous, the art for complete refuah for Chaim and Tzvi ben Leah. I added a few of the Anon Ymouses, but it's getting out of hand. Rabbi Yisai, I just want to remind the Olam that it's almost Purim, and you could give matanas le'evyonim to our Kollel. They help us every single day, and they're true aniyim, besides 2 or 3 that are multimillionaires. The rest.
Can't the multi-millionaires help Daniel?
And if you want, none of them are multimillionaires. That was just a joke. I mean, it's possible they are. How would that happen? I don't know. And also, you could also join MDY monthly. It's also matanas le'anim. I don't know how, but it is. You'll figure it out. We give our money out to poor people who can't afford Gemaras around the world.
Someone reached out to me and gave $180 to each Aryeh.
Somebody reached out to you and gave $180 to each Aryeh. Yeah, I know. I saw that. It came in already, no? Oh, okay, yeah. It's trickling in by Anon Ymous, $180 to each Aryeh, and somebody else gave $1,000, but for Pesach to each Aryeh. But okay, it's a thing to do. And they expect, since we gave them last year nice bonuses, they expect this year.
They have to go to the sponsorship website. It's under sponsorship.
Under sponsorship, you go into the Kollel and you give. Okay, good. Or you could go to mdymonthly.com and just give $500 a month, and we'll give it to the Kollel guys also. There are 10 Avreichim. There are 11, but we'll call it 10 to be fair. 10. I mean, if you count Mendy and a few other guys, Mendy learns it in the morning Seder, but yeah. We don't know. He's trying. What's it called? What are you trying to do again? No, what is it called with the Taver Magal? He's a Taver Magal. The boy say, yes, I am done. Thank you. I had a shaila based on yesterday's Gemara. Those of you who weren't here last night, maybe you can answer us. Is there a difference in the way that is the shaila, the way you shave your head, the isser of shaving your head, with what kli, and the isser that you shave your beard with what kli? Is there a difference in the tool, utensil that you use to shave your head and your beard? Yes or no? So I'll give you a little hint. When it comes to shaving a beard, the isser is only with a razor, derech hashchasa, like going down to the root with a razor. Cutting one's payas, is it also only with a razor? Or the isser is with any type of utensil? So yesterday I showed the Rambam, it seems like he says with the tar, also the same thing, but you could also learn the Rambam that it means derech tar, not dafke tar. We're going to see the Gemara from our Gemara's mashma today, that it's different. It's very interesting. Somebody came over to me yesterday and asked me that question. It might be different. According to a lot of poskim, it's different. In other words, the isser to shave your payas is also with a shaving machine. Not just a razor blade, whereas the isser of the beard is only with a razor blade. Says the Gemara, holding Daf Mem Aleph, Amud Aleph, 6 lines down.
The difference is that by the payas it says sakif, not the sakif.
Oh, but not everybody holds like that. Not everybody. The Shulchan Aruch brings both. But I hear what you're saying. Menachem Mateh is saying it says Bal Takif, not Bal Tashchis. On the beard it says Tashchis, which seems like a razor, where by the head it doesn't say that. Okay. Huh?
No.
Were you here last night?
I saw you lift your kid up and shake him like a willow.
Yeah.
How did you see that? At least he got that. What was that about? Like, just like, what sugya was that? Okay. The answer is that there's no mikar in halacha that says you cannot shave your beard. You could shave your beard, but al pi Kabbalah, it's a problem. And the Chaim brings that it cuts the tzinoiros and different things, and the al pi Arizal, and etc., etc. Okay. Asking a guy that doesn't have a beard. Barab. No, that's fine. Okay, so yesterday we finished off the sugya, and we're going to actually, not only is today's daf very, very short, but a lot of it is a repetition of what we learned yesterday. And the Gemara brought a raya that shaving the beard is with a razor blade. Why? Because if it's with any kli, then you wouldn't be able to shave your beard. A matzayra wouldn't be able to shave his beard with a razor. Why? Because there's a way out of it. If you have an essa and a lois essa, you could push off the lois essa because you're doing an essa. But if you have a way out, you could use another type of kli. You could use a shaver. You could use a rehitni. You could use a plane, like this guy. So whoever's laughing because he wasn't here last night, shkoyach, thank you, appreciate it. We need more adults sitting here, please. Come if you can. So, Nachman, if you do come on Motzei Shabbos, sit on that side. But if you do, you can sit on that side. You're coming next Motzei Shabbos. Okay, good. Whew. And this tzaddik next to you, if he behaves well today and he doesn't schmooze with the adults, then we'll let him sit there as well. But otherwise, fine. He wasn't here last night. Mamash tzaddik. So Nachamal. The Gemara brings a raya that it must be that when the Torah says that you could shave your beard with a razor blade, it doesn't mean that you could also shave it with a razor blade. And you could also use a shaver and also use a plane. Because if that's the case, then you would have to only use a plane. You wouldn't be able to use a razor blade. So the Torah is saying tar, meaning you're mechuyev to use a tar. You're mechuyev to use a razor blade, no other utensil. But that doesn't work according to Rabbi Eliezer. Rabbi Eliezer holds that you can't shave your beard with any tool. Not just a razor. So I don't have that force of skana. So Rabbi Eliezer, my time is 6 lines down. My time, so if so, how does Rabbi Eliezer learn? My time, again, it's mamish, it's nazir. These words are slightly different than the rest of the Shas. My time means, how does Rabbi Eliezer know the force? How does he know that you're mechuyev to use a razor blade when it comes to Matzayra? My time. Says Gemara, Yolif me Roishai. So, going back to the pasuk, stop. The pasuk says that a Matzayra must shave off every single hair follicle here on his body. Es Roishai, and then it starts to enumerate. Es Roishai, Veskanai. Why? Why all the prat? You said a klal, you said it's called sorry, we're not going to klal, don't worry about it. It's called sorry, includes all his hair, including his head. So, as the Gemara, matam aloymar, so then why does the Torah have to repeat and say, roishai? L'fi shenemar gabi Nazir. Tar lo yavel roishai. By Nazir we know that you're not allowed to you're not allowed to shave the head. Yachal af Nazir mitzayra kain. So, what about this guy right here? I don't know if you can see. I don't know. If Remy, could you zoom in?
You can, no?
No, I can't zoom in. Oh yeah, I could zoom in. Oh. Let's see if I could zoom in, Taka. Oh, here we go. Fine. That's my art. Don't bother Yoshi with that. So if a guy is both, he's lit, he's a Nazir, / a Mitzayra, not to be confused. The two very, very different things, and because they come together, sometimes you get confused. A guy who's a Nazir and a Mitzayra, and he's done with his tzaras. He's done. So what does he do? He has to shave his body. He has tzaras, he has to shave his body. But the fact is, he's also a Nazir. And the Torah says that a Nazir cannot shave his head during his Nazirus. So that's a predicament. What does he do? Mamish can't read today. Tired. Sick. Tired. That thing. My eyes not... Okay. They're here, but I can't. It's bizarreness. Hold on, just for a thing. This is Yosef's. All right, anyway. Yeah, no, this is very important. Oh. So according to Rabbi Yonasan, this goes according to Rabbi Yonasan. Hold on. I can't keep it on.
Those with the gray hair.
Can anybody read my own handwriting? Okay.
If you don't like the frames, get the frames.
So it goes like this. According to Rabbi Yonasan, the Isser, the Nazir, I can't. So vain. It's L'Kavet Purim. According to Rabbi Yonasan, the Nazir is chayiv only when he shaves his head with a razor. Right? We had that yesterday. This is according to Rabbi Yonasan. We're going according to Rabbi Yonasan. So, Memela, a Mitzayra. Huh?
It was on Lamed Testament base.
Okay, Lamed Testament base. That's where we started yesterday, right? So, now we know that a Mitzayra has to shave with a razor. Because otherwise, if a Mitzayra doesn't have to shave with a razor, let him shave with anything else. Let him shave with another tool. Fine. So, Memela what? Kamaloi ma roisha. Says Gemara, who told you this? Maybe even another utensil like a plane is okay. You don't have to dafka shave with a razor. We're trying to prove that according to Rebbe Lezer, a Mitzayra only uses a razor. Maybe not. Maybe, and this is basically going through the same spar that we had yesterday. Maybe he's doing a mitzvah with any other shaver, cream, laser, etc. And then so why does the Torah say a razor? To tell you, even a razor, not only a razor, even a razor. So look at that. I mean, a hoyel v'gabi Nazir. I would think that if the guy is a Nazir and he uses a razor, that's when he's chayiv. So Mela, a Mitzayra, this guy, lit guy, who's both a Nazir and a Mitzayra, he should also be chayiv. Maybe that's what it's coming to tell me. Not that you're mechuyev to use a razor blade, but you could also use a razor blade. You could use cream, you could use a rehitni, a blade, and the Torah is coming to Mechadish Tar to say that you're not over, that you could also use a razor blade, but not only a razor blade. Again, a guy who's a Nazir and a Mitzayra both together, he's mechuyev to shave his hair. How? Any way he wants. So why does the Torah say Tar? To tell you that there's no Isser in Tar. You could use a shaver and cream, and also even a tar, and you're not over Isser. Because, why? Because he's a Mitzayra who finishes Tzaras, even though he's a Nazir, and he didn't finish his Nazirus, he should use a razor blade. And now the Gemara says the same svar that we said yesterday, we started off this year with. It cannot be that you're right. It can't be that you could also use a razor blade, and you could also use any other device. Why? Because of tar, kirish lakish. Again, a very interesting lashon. But the point of the Gemara here is that Rish Lakish says that if a person has a way out of the Aveira, and he doesn't have to do an Aveira, he doesn't have to use a razor blade, so he has no right to use a razor blade. Let him use a plane, let him use a shaver, let him use cream. From the fact that the Torah says use a razor blade, the Torah is telling you only a razor blade, not even a razor blade, because if it was even a razor blade, then you wouldn't be able to use a razor blade at all. Huh? Yeah. That's what the Gemara says here. Tar, it doesn't say tar, but you want to say that it means even.
It doesn't say tar, that's for sure.
Right. Yeah, I know. That was the whole sugya yesterday. The whole sugya was, how do you know Mitzayr is Betar? Says Gemara. V'Rabbanon. Oh. V'Rabbanon. Hai Roishoi. My Darshibe. Rabbanon who learn that a Mitzayr shaves with a razor, they learn it from Zkanai. Rebbe Lezer is learning it from Roishoi. So what do Rabbanon do with the word Roishoi? Mebayelahu limitchilav da'kafa. Now you're not over by a Mitzayra when he shaves, he's not over on the lav of akafa. The sanya loisakifu pas roishchem yochalav Mitzayra came. So the pasuk says, let's go. Loisakifu pas roishchem. The Isser is to go, basically like, I don't know if you could see the red line on the right. To go from the ear, the ear, above the ear, there's a place that doesn't have hair, doesn't grow. And if you straighten out that plane, like the red line, and you go to where the forehead is, where there's only skin and no hair, in other words, you shave this whole side. I have a good picture of boy's side. Just got some two random guys. The guy on the right, he's Bal Takif. Why? I don't know if you guys laughing. He has hair on top, and he's shaved completely over here. He shaved above his ear, the guy on the right. The guy on the left, he shaved everything. That's okay. But in terms of Bal Takif, we're talking about over here. So the Gemara says, let me get this off quickly. What?
What are the names?
It's them guys in the what do you mean?
That's gonna be the thumbnail.
Jump up.
Not funny. No, I can't. No, this is a gvul. Yes, gvul.
Okay, I got the one with the glasses.
Yochalav and Tzari came. So Nachamal. In the Torah it says you're not allowed to shave this area. Okay, wherever it is, ask your local rabbi. This area above, like the guy on the right, whatever his name is. That's awesome. So I would think that a Mitzayra also cannot. So just one thing that we have to point out, and that's Taisus. Taisus says, wait a minute. The Torah says, V'gilach es kol sa'arai. A Mitzayra has to shave all his hair off. So how do you have a havamina? Oh, but not the payas. It says kol sa'arai. So this says two things. Either it means that he doesn't have payas. Where is this? Or it's time. I mean, it's a little bit of a not so gishmak. The first Torah says it means everything kol sa'arai besides the payas. Or we're talking about a person that doesn't have payas. Okay, it fell off, whatever. You didn't have payas. Great. So you're asking me, what do Chacham do with the word Roishai? They learn that a Mitzayra is mechuyev to shave his entire payas. And what do we call that? Esa, the chiyuv, to shave kol sa'arai, pushes off his doicha, the lois esa, that a regular human being has, that he should not touch the area of his payas. Says Gemara, don't I know already this idea of that you're supposed to shave, a Mitzayra is supposed to shave his beard, and that's also a esa which pushes off a lois esa, the sanya is konim matam aloyma. Levishin emar paz is konim lo yigalechu.
You can't compare the two.
Huh?
So he put himself in this situation. He shouldn't say lashon in the first place. So now he has a yahrzeit. So it's not a say.
Yeah, but right now we don't look at it like that because yesterday the Gemara says the exact opposite of you. I'll tell you why. The Gemara says that a Nazir did something really bad, and he's a chayta, and nevertheless he's allowed to shave with a razor blade. And the Gemara talks about a Nazir versus a Mitzayra. In other words, the Mitzayra didn't do anything bad. I guess the Gemara is talking about right now, today. I don't know.
So
I hear
right now, today, he's not doing anything. Right now.
every minute that he refrains from not drinking wine, he's over. He's doing something about it. Yeah. But I hear it's an interesting thing. I brought it up last night as a kibbutz chag because yes, you're right. And then the day, how did he get tzuras? He got tzuras because he did something bad.
And the footnote in the Sifta says it's only talking about the Tzorayim who got it without doing an affair. So you can get passed down to your kids.
Aha. So the Mesifta says we're talking about a Mitzayra that didn't do Avera. You hear? He got passed down from his kids. Yesterday I was thinking, like, what's this Mitzayra, a Nazir that became a Mitzayra? Like Stam, I was thinking, like, he decided that he wants to be Makabal himself something. You know, he wants to become a Hecha. We spoke about it, like a guy that starts growing his payas. Like Rav Shach told a guy, what are you growing? Guy, he wants to get to the next level. So he says, you know, I'm going to become a Nazir. Nazir. This is the way I'm going to get close to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Then Hashem strikes him with tzuras. In other words, Mr. Tzaddik, you're over on Doiraisis, you're over on Lashon Hara. First take care of the basics, and then worry about your Nazirus. Okay. But anyway, weiter. So at the end of the day, why do I need the same exact concept twice? You should shave your payas, even though it's a deraisa to shave your payas, but now you're mekayim a mitzvah saseh to shave your payas. You should also shave your beard, even though it's a deraisa to shave your beard, but it's a mitzvah saseh to shave your beard when you're a mitzvah. So why do you need the two things? Because Rahman is kanai, v'loy kasav roishai, havamina kofas kol haroish lo yishma hakafam. So now when we go back to these two pictures, you see exactly what's going on here. I would think that akavas kol haroish, if the Torah only said skanai, so I would think, you know why the Torah doesn't talk about payas? Because maybe by a mitzvah he shaved his entire head, and shaving his entire head is never asur. I would think such a thing. That again, shaving the entire head, like the guy on the left, is not asur. It's all the isser of the Torah is the guy on the right shaving just the payas part. That's why the Torah never mentioned payas. Oh, so the Torah has to mention payas to tell me that's not true. Hakafas kol haroish, doing like the guy on the left, you are over isser deraisa. By the way, why would I think that hakafas kol haroish lo yishma hakafa? Why? Because in those days, there's the minhag hagoyim to shave just over here, like the guy on the right. That was the norm. You shaved over here and kept this over here. A guy on the left is a meshugana. No, seriously, in those days, he's nuts. What? The guy on the left was not the normal. It wasn't the norm. So Melev is not the norm. You're not over. I would think. By the way, there's a minhag by Hasidim. And I spoke to Chassid last night. I told him about this. He didn't know about it, so I'm telling the Chassidim now. The minhag by Chassidim, this part they know. The minhag by Chassidim that before their chuppah, when they go and they get married, they shave their entire hair with a razor blade, besides the payas. And by the way, you could be makayim a mitzvah of be mechaven that you're leaving your payas on. That as you're getting your haircut, you could be mechaven that part. But why do they do it with the razor blade? So I saw that it says that it's based on our Gemara. That you see by a Nazir, you take it off with the razor blade. There's a certain tumah, there's a certain something that goes off the klippas, and so I don't know what that you take off with the razor blade by a Nazir. So when they're getting a haircut, they use a razor blade. One time in their life, they do it with a razor blade. I'll go Purim. That's why the Torah has to tell me that payas, even if you remove the entire head, and we had this, we had it a few days ago. That what? Nachamos, in case somebody's confused about this. Hakavas kol haroish is 100% asur, and our Gemara holds this deraisa. The Izzo Mandama that holds that's asur with the Rabbanim, but everybody holds this asur. Because of roishai, because of skanai. Okay, so good. So tell me the chiddush by payas. Mem Aleph Amud Beis. Tell me the chiddush by payas, and I don't need to tell me that a mitzvah should also shave his beard. It's esedei. But if I only said roishai because of skanai, have amina mash metarti. Sponsored for Hatzlacha, Leib, and Aliza Simcha, Sheine Mashe, and Aliza Simcha, Sheine Mashe, bad Bracha, and Hatzlacha for the Magachir, the members of the HBA Group and their families all made. So if it would just say Roishoi v'leikos iskana, have amino mashmet harti. You're right. You can learn 2 things from it, but you can't learn 3. The what? The asi asay v'dachi es lois asay. That concept that first, when the Torah tells the Mitzvah has to shave, it means it overrides even the isser of not shaving your head, your payas. Umashma that kofas kol roish shma kofa, and we're going to learn from this that typically speaking, to shave the entire head is also asur. It's not just the payas part. Akati bitar, but how do you know that a Mitzvah uses a razor blade, minalon? So what's going on here? The pshat is like this, and that's what I started off to share with. Payas, according to this Gemara, seems like, to shave off the payas, it'll be asur with any type of utensil, even not with a razor blade. So machlokes is in the paiskim, but that's what's mashma from us. So the fact that the Torah says that you should shave your entire head, there's no proof. Why? Because maybe the Torah said to Mitzvah, shave your entire head with a shaver, with a cream. So I still don't know that a Mitzvah has to use a razor blade. Because the isser of payas is with any kli. If you go down deep, all the way to the root, ke'ein tar is also asur with payas. So I don't know, from the fact that Torah says you should do it, and it's telling me there's no proof and there's no force that he had to do with the razor blade. You know where the force is? By a beard. Because a beard, the only time it's asur by a beard is with a razor blade. So the fact that the Torah says he should shave is a raya that a Mitzvah shaves with a razor blade. But that's from Skanai only and not from Roishai. That's why I need Skanai. Imagine that goes to Roish Makafa. Akad v'tar minala, lavi goes Rachmana, Skanai. Okay. Lezer uses the word Roishai to tell me that a Mitzvah uses a razor blade. How does Rabbi Lezer know the idea of Esed? Yeah, we just learned it according to Chachamim. But according to Rabbi Lezer, how does he know it? Now, Taisus asks the most obvious question. I think it's kedai to see Taisus inside. Taisus the Ram asking Rabbi Lezer, you see it? Last Taisus, the giant Taisus. We're not going to do the whole thing. What do you mean? How do I know Esed? From here, from a Nazir. From the fact that Torah says the Nazir should use a razor and shave. Roishai, Skanai. What? Yeah, by Mitzvah. Sorry, by Mitzvah. So now it just goes into this whole thing that maybe it doesn't apply to a woman. Okay, fine. And then he goes into this thing. I don't know if we should go into it. But the bottom line is that Rabbi Lezer is talking about a situation where you have a esse and a lois esse. And if Rabbi Lezer, that's his final one of his pshatim, if Rabbi Lezer didn't already hold of esse and lois esse before this, then why would Rabbi Lezer jump to a case and say that the pasuk is talking about a case of esse and a lois esse? Just talk about a regular lois esse. Says the Gemara, Yolef, this is the famous Gemara, Yolef Migdilim, you learn from tzitzis. So, it says in the pasuk Yud Aleph, L'sil Bashatnes, says you shouldn't wear wool and linen. And in pasuk Yud Beis, right away it says Gdilim Ta'asilach, you should wear tzitzis. And we know that tzitzis is shatnes. Why? Because not the actual blue, the tchelas, has to be made out of tzemer, and you're allowed to wear a beged of pishtim. You're allowed to wear linen. So there was once a Maisa where, true story, parents were very concerned that their son is marrying a Goya. So they brought the son to the Rebbe, and they didn't want to go to the Rebbe. He said, on condition he doesn't convince me. Okay, fine. Goes to the Rebbe. The Rebbe said, I'm only asking of you one thing. Where tzitzis? It reminds me of the Gemara with that person who used to be very makbid on tzitzis, and he went to the Zoyna and he paid a lot of money, and then the tzitzis stood up. Okay. So he goes so fine, you know what? Nobody knows about it, nobody will ever see it. I can take care, I'll do tzitzis. Fine. So he gets married, goes to the chassan, gets married, and of course by the chassan he got real shik, he got drunk. And as he's dancing and drunk, his tzitzis came out. The strings came out. And the brother-in-laws, the wife's brothers saw it, and they started cursing him in front of everybody. He said, oh, look at this dirty Jew. He has the strings, and he chapped his matzav. He chapped how much they hate him. He chapped this, and he went away. Which reminds me of another Maaser. I said this over. The Mash told me, the Mashgiach of Neve Tzion, he brought his chever to Poland. And in Poland, they had a tremendous chizuk in Auschwitz and everything. So he told the guys, I want every single bacher to accept upon themselves one thing. So one kid, he accepted upon himself tzitzis. Said, somebody came to him and said, I don't understand something. You have bacherim, it's mamsh b'chal Shabbos. He's smoking on Shabbos and he has tzitzis hanging out of his thing. He says, no, you're looking at it the wrong way. This kid's b'chal Shabbos. The afal pikein, he wears tzitzis every single day. And Be'ez Hashem, those tzitzis will bring him back. All right. So, Zok the Gemara. This an Yeloisil b'shatnas, top of Membeis Amud Aleph. Hogdilim tasilach mehem. You could do esilach loisasa. I have to tell you real quickly because the covered Purim. Rabbi Yosef on Purim, he said, how could you become shikr on Purim? It says, loy tishakru. You're not like get shikr. And he was a passing in Gedoshim. It says, loy tishakru ishma misoi. So he said, because the mitzvah of drinking wine on Purim is the mitzvah saseh, and the mitzvah saseh pushes off the loy saseh of loy tishakru. He says that explains why the Yidden in Shushan, Vayir Shushan, Solav Samecha, that the Yidden drink wine, but what about Loy Tishakru? You know, get drunk. So he said, because it says that Mordechai, what's the Lashon over there? Oh, that V'roisoi Yachat Cheles Mordechai. V'roisoi Yachat Cheles Mordechai. That the Klai Yisrael saw that Mordechai came out with Cheles. Oh, but it says that Mordechai was butz with tarchich butz, that he wore pishtan. So how do he wear tcheles? But when they saw that he wore the tcheles together with the butz, so they realized that that's a doicheles. So Mamela, they were able to drink wine on Purim. Rabbi Isai, have a wonderful day.
Guy came to ask us.